What's up, YouTube? I'm Joe, the 50-something Dasher, and I'll just cut right to it for this video. I took an L today. What? How is that possible? I told you guys in the last couple videos, last 2 days, I had two catering orders already set up and pre-scheduled and everything. The two of those combined was paying me about $148 against a my goal on Fridays is $150. And then I just needed to make up, the $2, and then I was short 25 yesterday. So I thought at some point today I just jump on DoorDash and make $27. Okay? That shouldn't be hard to do and make goal for yesterday and today. But instead, I took the L. What? Okay. And guys, this may be this video may be a teaching tool and a learning experience for some people. So here we go. And I'll explain what happened here. Not the end of the world or anything, but uh let's see. Okay. So I get to Lancaster, or LA as my brother and I call it. I get to LA this morning, and I think I was probably only 5-10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Got to the place early, waited in the car a few minutes. I get inside and they have it all ready, but it's all in these like boxes that so I couldn't really use my catering bags. So this smaller box had the three coffees. This bag here is just the creamers and the sugars. And then here's all the food was in this tall box right here. So the guy was pretty cool. He helped me out. He took the stuff that's in the trunk here, the small box in the sack. He took that out, put that in my trunk. I got this. I carried out the bigger box, and that was it. Just the two boxes. I talked about in yesterday's video how I thought I was going to be at the customer like way too early. I actually wasn't. I had to go to the bathroom, and I don't know why, but I didn't want to go at this pickup location. It was a small place, and there's a lot of people in there. I don't know. I just didn't want to. So I drove a mile away to I thought I would check out the LA Meyer, and so I went in there, which was really nice inside. It was a lot nicer than my Meyer. It's probably a lot newer than the one here as well. So I killed a couple minutes there, and so I didn't get to the customer real super early. I just got there maybe, oh, I don't know, maybe like 15 minutes early. And according to that email that I talked about the other day, I could have just went right on into the customer, but I still waited about, I don't know, like 5 minutes or something like that. And no problems at all with this delivery. There's my setup. Everything just fit just right on the one table that they had in there. So there you see there's the three coffees right here, and there's those creamers and sugars. Then I set out these napkins, cups. This is the silverware. This is like the lids for the cups and the coffee stirrers, plates. I didn't look inside any of these covered pans. I'm assuming it's like pancakes and eggs. They even provided tongs for the sausage and the bacon. So that's pretty cool. And then the syrup I put over here. No, pretty straightforward. Then, okay, so then it was a change of plans. Originally, I had This drop off was at 7:30. Okay, so I had 9:45 was my next catering order pickup time. That was in Polaris. Originally, I was going to come back to Zone here and maybe log into a dash for, I don't know, half hour, an hour, and then head up to Polaris. And then I got to thinking, no, why don't I just, it'd be better if I just drove straight from LA to Polaris and maybe do a little dash up there. You know, it's not my zone. I'm not familiar with it, but you know, that would probably be better. Why have the extra mileage, you know, coming back here? So that's what I did. And so there you see the delivery complete on the DeliverThat order at 7:34. So I get up is about less than an hour later. I got up to Polaris it's about 8:30. And so I had basically you might as well say 8:30 to 9:30. I had 1 hour, so let's log into a dash up there. And I figured I'd probably do like one order, maybe two, and you know, to kill some time. I actually did three orders, three short little runs. First, a decline, a little $3.50 Krispy Kreme at 8:35. Then just a minute later, hidden tip McDonald's. Great, only going 2 miles. You know, this is the kind of stuff I wanted. And I don't have a screenshot of the payout because of the next order came in. Um, and that was, but the payout on that ended up being 750. Okay. And then right as I closed that out, I got another $7 order, 2.7 mile Krispy Kreme. Okay. So I went ahead and did that. So that takes me from 8:48 to 9:05. $2 and a $5 tip. Okay. And then immediately as I'm dropping that off at 9:05, I get my third order, $6, 3.5 miles CVS. And all I got to shop for is two things of candy. So I went ahead and took it. This is going to be easy. Get to the CVS as just a 2-minute shop. The staff member had to help me with these the freeze dried Skittles because they were in kind of like a separate location in the aisle because it's kind of like a seasonal candy section. Um, and then dropped off at 9:20, and this was a leave at the door where a kid came out to get the order. So you know, I didn't trust this. My phone was already on the screen where I was ready to take my picture at the door, and so the kid comes out. I handed him the sack, and I backed out of everything and sent my delivery message first. Waited about a minute and closed that out. Um, So now, and that was 350 and a 250 tip. So now we're at 9:20. I still have 25 minutes here, and I was thinking I could maybe even do one more if it's one of these short ones. It's only 2 or 3 miles. It was just going to take me like 15 minutes, and I figured I'd stay logged in just for like 5 minutes. And I told myself if I didn't get anything by 9:25, then I'm not chancing it. And just 3 minutes later, I got a decline, 9:50, 7.5 mile, and this is going like south. I'm north of 270, the outer belt, and this was going to take me south, like below the outer belt, and I didn't want a chance being late to the customer. What's the next screenshot? Oh, okay. So I declined that, and I went ahead and logged out. So now we got 20 minutes until my pickup. So there you see, I made $20.50 in less than an hour on those three short deliveries. Mission accomplished, killed some time, and then made the money. Okay, so and that's the last screenshot I have. Then okay, so then I make my way over to Romeo's Pizza. Okay, I had a like I said, I had a 9:45 appointment time, and this was the order that was going to pay me. So the first one, the scramblers paid me 78.39. And then this, whoops, I clicked on it, the same one again. And then the Romeo's was going to pay 88.59. Okay, so I get there and I'm about maybe like, 10 minutes early, something like that. Again, just like with scramblers, I waited about like 5 minutes, and I walk in the doors about 5 minutes before the pickup time. I say I'm here for the easy cater order, give the customer's name, and the worker in there looks at me and she's like, I don't know anything about that order, and we're not even open yet anyway. Was not prepared for this. Was that like entering into the store? That's just not the fact that the restaurant would just not know anything at all about the order. That was just not in my within my radar like whatsoever. I just completely totally caught off guard, was not did not have that in my head of a possibility of something that could happen when I walk through those doors. I with these type of deliveries, I expect that maybe they're the order is going to be like the scramblers. The order was ready and it's like sitting there, and all I gotta do is pick it up and collect the signature. Or they might still be working on it, and I have to wait about 5 or 10 minutes as they're kind of finishing it up. Or those are the types of things that I'm expecting. I just wasn't expecting that, like that either maybe it had already been picked up like with DoorDash orders, or in this case that they just didn't know about the order like whatsoever. And I'm immediately I'm thinking, oh crap. you know and this is a catering order. Whatever is going to happen here, they're not going to just they're not just going to make. And it ended up being, I'd find out a few minutes later, this was 21 extra large specialty pizzas. Okay. This isn't going to be just like a 10 or 15-minute wait. They just, oh crap, oh, we didn't see this, or oh, hold on a second. Like, I have this happen all the time at Tim Hortons. But they can prepare an order in like 3 to 5 minutes while you stand there, and you can get your order. But this is completely different. So the girl there, and she's the only worker in the store. It's just one person. So she doesn't know anything about this. She immediately gets on the phone and starts calling her manager. So I figured while I'm doing that, or while she's doing that, I would call DeliverThat. So I get on the phone at the same time, get a hold of somebody right away, say, hey, I'm here for an order. They don't know anything about it. And while the guy's collecting my information, the girl comes back, and I ask her about how long is this going to take to. She was gonna like start preparing it, and she said about 30 to 45 minutes, which I didn't trust that. How can she's in there by herself, and you're gonna make 21 extra large specialty pizzas by yourself and possibly be done in a half hour. So I told DeliverThat 45 minutes. And I okay, so I just went with my first instinct here. Like I said, I was completely caught off guard. I wasn't prepared for something like this. So I just kind of went with my first instinct of what should be done here. I asked about if I could. I told him DeliverThat is going to be 45 minutes. Would I be able to drop this and it gets assigned to another driver? And he said, well, if you can do either. You can drop it or you can wait on the order. But keep in mind, if you drop it, you're only going to get paid $20 for this. And I was in that moment, I was like, let's go ahead and drop it. Let's drop it. And because she said 45 minutes, I would bet at least an hour. I'd be, and what was I going to do? Just hang around right there? Or could I leave and, I don't know, maybe get something to eat and come back? Or or would DeliverThat expect me to stay there in that parking lot for an hour? I don't know. And plus, they sent this email the other day that talking about how strict they were on the pickup and delivery times and all this. When I just didn't want to be involved in delivering an order to a customer like over an hour past when it was originally supposed to. I'm sure the customer would have been contacted and explained the situation and realized it wasn't my fault and all this and that. But I don't know, guys. I still didn't want to be like involved in that. Yeah, I don't have another driver, pick this up and readjust the times is what I was thinking. Um, and they so I got off the phone and I told the girl that another driver would be in for it, and I left and just started heading home. And I got a text message from DeliverThat that it was dropped, and then they took it off of me and did everything on their end. I asked if I would be like penalized or held accountable in any way for, I know DoorDash has their policies where you can't go below 90% and all, but the guy I spoke to said no, there's no like negative consequences to you at all for this, or yada yada. Now, before I got home, as I was kind of, thinking about this more, if I could have done the situation over, I probably would have done things differently, I think. Um, After I had some time to think about it, I think if I was going to do a do over, I would have stayed on the order. Because another thing I got to thinking was I kind of forgot about that DeliverThat pays you for wait time. So I could have just stayed there. And I don't know if that would have taken an hour. I don't know what they would have paid me like for an hour, maybe 10, $20, something like that. So I would have got paid for waiting there. And the only thing would have been, that everything needed to be smoothed out by the customer. So I probably would have allowed the DeliverThat or Easy Cater to contact the customer, and then I probably would have contacted the customer as well. I probably would have waited 15, 20 minutes for them to do their thing on their end, and I had the phone number, and then I would have called. Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, this is, Joe, your driver. Did Easy Cater get with you and explain this situation, everything, and yada yada, and just to kind of make sure they knew and make sure it wasn't my fault and, all this and that. If I could do it, if I could have done it over, that's probably what I probably should have done. Um, but like I said, I didn't, in the moment, I just didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want the responsibility of delivering a late order or anybody coming after me or that, I just didn't want the hassle, I guess. I don't know. For whatever that's worth. So I took the L then basically. So I've finished with the 2050 DoorDash, and I think I want to say it was like 90. What did I say for uh, the scramblers was 78 plus the 20 they said they were going to pay me for the drops. That's 98. 98 plus the 20 is what I made instead of 150. And then so I figured out of the days this week that I have goals set. So Monday I was a plus $23. And then Tuesday I don't have a goal. Wednesdays I for the most part probably won't be doing gig work much on Wednesdays. Okay, then Thursday and today, I was a minus 56. So for the week, minus $33. So, I don't know. Not the end of the world. Oh, and one other thing to mention, mileage was not too good today. I think the 20 and the 98 is like $118 made for today, and I drove 125 miles and made $118. So a very rare day from this doesn't happen to me hardly ever anymore, but a rare day where I was upside down on miles. But hey, that's because I decided to drop that order. But anyway, yeah, a little bit, I don't know, a little bit disappointing, a little bit frustrating, but it wasn't by any means the end of the world. So, and I haven't gotten any more, I don't think I've gotten any offers from DeliverThat today at all. So, it's turned on at the moment, just not getting anything. So we'll see, and we'll plan on door dashing tomorrow and see if I can go over the 200 tomorrow to kind of make up for the lost pay. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, be sure to drive safe out there. Stay cool. Getting tongue-tied. And we'll see you at the next video. Thanks again.